Okay, in this module I'm going to show you how to complete the assignments and activities that you need to submit. So if you scroll down to the create your website, if you remember I asked you to think of an idea for a website that you can build based on a theme. So it could be something that you hope to teach in the future, dance or music or math, something like that. And then you pick a certain topic within that big topic to kind of narrow down to build your website. So in this screencast, I'm going to show you how to build it, and you're going to be creating 4 pages: a home, about, contact, and reference pages, and I'll show you how to create all those. Now, what you'll do is, first thing is make sure you go to education.weebly.com. Don't go just to weebly.com because they'll limit you on the number of pages you can create. So we want to go to the education account. So I'll click there. You'll start down here by creating an account. Okay, I'm just going to log in. Okay, and when you get to this level, you may have a couple other screens as far as asking you about some demographic information. You could just fill that out. And then when you get to a spot where you can add a site, okay, you'll be asked to do a site, blog, or store. We're going to choose site, and you can pick a theme now. Don't worry about spending too much time on this right now. You can always go back and change your mind later on. Pick a theme. You can switch the themes up as many times as you want. So now when you get to this spot, it's going to ask you to come up with a customized domain. These bottom options here, they're going to charge you money, so don't worry about those. We're going to use a subdomain of Weebly, and you'll want to name it something descriptive of your topic. So for me, I'm going to do the human body, and mine says it's already taken, which isn't surprising me. So maybe I will add a 313 at the end there just to make sure that I can use that subdomain, and I'll say continue, and it's given me my site here. Okay, now there are a lot of different things you could do with your site that we'll get into over the course of the semester, and I'll show you how to do it. The first thing is, a lot of times these themes have big banners here. I don't really want this big one, so I'll come here, and I usually either turn it to short header, okay, which is a little bit better, or I can turn it on to no header. I've also got landing and splash and title. You could play around with them and see what you kind of like. It does allow you to edit the image, so the banner image, so you can look through some of the stock images that they have, or you can upload your own. So I will just pick a new one here. I could select it, and then I can move it around. So maybe I want more of the bike to show. Okay, and I got some options down here as well, but I'm gonna click on save and save to all pages. So now anytime I have a banner on a page, it'll use this one. Okay, and I can again switch that as many times as I want. Okay, so like I said, you're going to be creating a home, about, a contact, and a reference pages. So by default, some of these have a home, about, and contact page. If I go up here to pages, it'll show me home, about, contact. So if you already have those built, the pages built, that's great. If not, you can come up here to, like, let's say you only have, the home page. I can come up here to the plus sign on pages and do standard page, and I could call this about. I could change the header here. Okay, and I'll say save. I'll do the contact page. And the last one I want to do is a reference page. References, I should say. Now with the references, I want to check this box that says hide in navigation. I don't want my references to show up here. Instead, I'm going to turn it into a hidden page, and I'll show you how to link to that in just a second. Okay, so let's go back to the Build tab up here, and we'll click on our home page. So we've got our home, about, contact, and then we've got that reference page, but it's hidden. So again, I'll show you how to change that. Up here where it says My Site, you can change that to the topic. So I believe mine is on the human body. That's what I'll name my site. Now, in the body area of all your pages, you have the ability to kind of create a layout for your for each page. Now, you can drag any of these elements over on the left-hand side. You can drag them and drop them, and then fill them in. So a title, text, and so on. Or what you can do is choose a layout that's already been developed for you, just so that it just kind of takes some of the it takes away you having to be creative in picking the organization of the site. So you can see there's a home, about, services, contact, all these different types of options that you can choose from. I'll stay, since I'm on the home page, I'll just stay on the home page here. Maybe I will select, maybe I'll just select this first one here. Okay, and then once it loads, if I like it, I can keep it. If I don't like it, I can change it. And what it is just it's got dummy text here. It's got some image placeholders, so you can go through and change those to kind of fit the theme of your site. I will keep this one. In this spot here, what I want to do is I want to add information about the human body, just kind of since this is a home page, an introduction to the human body in my home page. Here I might replace this image with a picture pertaining to the human body. Down here I can leave this as it is right now. I can obviously change if I have some pages later on that I want to create. Maybe I just want to delete these all together and I don't need them. I can just click on all these different icons and delete them. So I could easily do that. Okay, so this home page is really going to be an introduction to the human body. It'll give the viewer a little overview of what you're going to the topic of your website. Now, in the About page, if I click up here on About, this is going to be about you as the teacher. Okay, so again, you can choose a layout if you want, and you see that it goes to the About page automatically. And you can choose any of these templates if you want. Let's see. I'm not going to choose one. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of design it myself. So I'm going to bring over the title. I'm going to bring over a text element, and I'll drop it. And then I'll bring over an image. And you can kind of tell wherever you see this blue line, it's where I can drop that element. So it's kind of small here. Let me see if I can. It wants to scroll up on me, but I can drag and drop any of these elements wherever I want to. So I'm going to drag it right next to the text one. So I've got a title here. So about the teacher. Okay. I can put some text in here. I can put a picture in. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to grab some text that I already have. And I'll paste it in there. Okay. I'll go out and I'll grab an image, and you want some sort of professional looking image of yourself on there. So I will, and then what I can do is I can grab these columns and I can drag them around if I'd like. Okay. So this about the teacher, this is just a little bit about my education, what I've taught, a little personal information. Okay, so you can add that stuff in there. I can also, if I want, there are these two items called spacers, and they're just blank little space areas that give you a little space between content areas. So I dragged the spacer in down there, and I'm going to actually drag a gallery down under here as well. And a gallery allows me to upload some pictures of my own. So I'm going to go out and grab some pictures of my dogs and my daughter. And I'll show you kind of what you can do with this gallery here. Okay, so looks like they all uploaded. Change this to 5 columns. And I will rearrange these a little bit. Okay, so here's some of my dogs that I've had. I can change some captions here. I'll show you how that looks. So when I go to each one, I can put a caption on each of these pictures. And you see what happens when I'll show you what happens once I'm in my live view. Okay. All right. So I've got my my about page done. At any point, I'm in edit mode right now. At any point, I can go and I can look at the live view by publishing. Okay, so I'm going to click on the publish button. The first time that I do the publish button, it's going to again ask me, do I want to do it a subdomain of Weebly? You'll want to keep this top one because these bottom two ones options are going to require payment. So I'll just use the top one. Click on continue. And then up again, this is going to try to get me to pay some money, so I just want to click on this link right here. All right. So this is my live view. All right, here's my home page, and here's my about page. Okay, and when I hover over, okay, you can click on the pictures and whatnot. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the edit mode. Anytime I make changes to my site, anytime you upload a new assignment, you'll want to make sure that you hit that publish button. Let's go to the last page here is the contact page. This one I can just choose the layout. In this one you just have to have very basic. It doesn't have to have much on it. I'll just pick this top one here. And I won't need everything on there. But I'll keep this. I'm gonna just delete this spot up here. I don't really need this text area. The important thing is this contact form here. This is going to allow me, when I'm looking at your site, if I have any questions, I can just submit the contact form right from your site. So I'm going to delete this map. I don't need that. I don't need a physical address, although you certainly can if you have a school that you're working with. If you want to put your phone number, you can do that. I don't need to do that, so I'm going to delete, and then I might put my email address in there. Okay. Now with this contact form, if I go to form options, I want to look at the email and make sure that this is the email that that when somebody submits it to, this is the email that it's going to go to. Okay. Now you won't fill in any of this stuff. This is for the people who go to your site and visit. This is for them to fill out. Okay. So if I were to go to your site again and I have a question, I can fill this out. But the form options, you want to make sure that the email to is going to whatever email you want. Okay, and I'll click Save. Okay, now in this area over here, this is where I'm going to put my reference page. You remember we created the reference page, but we hid it from navigation. I'm going to drag a text element down here, and this text I'm going to name references. I'm going to type in references, and then I want to link to my reference page. So I'll highlight the text references. I'll click on this create link button, and I'll do down here under standard page, and I'll select references. Okay, and click save. All right, that creates a link to my reference page so that I can easily access it. All right. Now my reference page, it's going to be very basic. I'm not going to choose a layout. I'm just going to grab a title element and a text element and drag it over here. My title will be references. And then my references, anytime I'm using a picture or image or media that doesn't belong to me or that does belong to me, I'm going to make sure that I reference it. And in Blackboard, I've got the citing media section with a template that you can use. Okay, so you can look at the format below or this link here that kind of shows you how I go about creating this format. Anytime you find a picture, you're going to include four things: a description of the media, name of the site you found it, retrieval date, and a URL. So, for example, I found this picture. So I would first do a description of the media, which is MLK Jr. quote. The next thing I would do is name the site that I found it from. Well, I found this on Forbes.com. Okay. The next thing is the date I retrieved it on. Looks like a spelling mistake there. And the full website that I found it from. Okay. Now, just a note, you will never cite Google. Google is not your site for that you found media on. Google is a search engine, so don't cite that you found an image or video or anything like that on Google. So this citation, let's say I found one of my pictures on there, I would put my reference in there, and this is where I would put all of my citations for any media that I use that's not mine. If you have a picture or media that is yours that you created, then you can also note that here. Okay, so remember, click on the publish button when you make any changes, and you can see that I've got contact page, I've got a link to my references, and so on. Okay, and I can navigate to and from. Okay, so that's how you create your website, how you get it started. In the next screencast, I'll show you how to submit your screencast to me. Thank you.